So who is Jamie Butler? Jamie Butler is somebody that's been practicing law for about 20 years. He started working in a very large law firm, moved to work as Crown Counsel for several years, and then worked for a smaller law firm, and about 15 years ago started up his own law firm, Butler Company, and Butler Company really works for the little guy. 100% of the clients that come in the door are people that are good people that had something troubling happen to them. 100% of the clients, that's who come in the door. Whether they've had a car accident and they've been injured in that accident, or they got caught up in a roadblock and had a impaired driving charge. Those are the type of people that come in. Well, that's a good question. You know, when I worked for the big firm had all they acted for the big corporations, and every day you'd sit there with your billing sheets and you'd bill, 0.5 an hour, 0.3 an hour, 0.4 an hour. It just sickened me. The corporations can pay for it. The little guy can. The little guy, he can hardly afford a lawyer, let alone the big corporate lawyers. So when I worked for the big corporations, I found that you'd write some memo or come up with some brilliant legal bit that would save the corporation millions of dollars, and they'd give you a pat in the back, and that's about the accolades you get. Helping out the little guy, though, it's completely different. When you're helping out the little guy, you really see the results in your work. You see a smile on somebody's face when you give them a big check, or when the judge comes down and the gavel is brought down and the judge says not guilty, and the smile on your client's face, it's priceless. That's completely different than working for the big corporations and the big firms, where you're just a barcode and nobody, and are billing essentially by the hour and by the letter and by the phone call and that type of thing. At Butler and Company, we don't bill anybody by the hour, by the phone call, by the letter that we write. We don't give them a 0.5 of an hour for this phone call and 0.2 of an hour for that letter. Essentially, it's a law firm where we act on set fees for criminal cases and for IRPs, and we act on contingency fees for personal injury matters. Contingency fees are just the percentage agreement, so whatever the client gets from an insurance company or from a court award, we'll just take a percentage at the end of the day. It's very different than billing 0.2 of an hour for each letter and 0.5 of an hour for each phone call that you're making and sending your client monthly bills. Just doesn't work that way.